Mr. Nobody, Chapter 1, Panic. I'm in a police lineup. The other men are just like me, medium build with grubby facial hair. One guy looks like he just woke up or has to go to the bathroom. We all face the same one-way glass. Unclear as to who or what awaits us on the other side. The intercom speaker abruptly cuts through the nervous silence. Suspect 3, please step forward. That's me. My heart goes from a brisk flutter to an audible series of explosions. I'm nervous, and I feel it in my posture and my facial expression. It's hard to act natural when you're shitting your pants. I step forward in one big step, finding myself alone and feeling exposed. The lights are brighter where I'm standing, and my eyes squint slightly as I peer into the glass, looking for any sign of who is staring back. Suspect 3, cover your face with your hands and turn in a circle. I think, what the fuck? As a moment of confusion passes, and I do what I'm told. My hands cover my face as I rotate in a slow and awkward circle. I see the other men in the lineup through my fingers as I turn. All 7 are watching me as I complete my orders. Facing the glass again, I put my hands down and wait for what seems like the longest 3 seconds. Now step back in line. The intercom buzzes as the words are spoken. I step back and breathe a couple of big breaths, but not too big. I don't want to look shook up. The man next to me, suspect 2, says under his breath, "That was fucked." I don't respond. I look ahead. I look at the glass. I imagine the people on the other side are deliberating, casting blame. I imagine some are on shore and blindly accusing whoever fits the bill. I close my eyes, tight. A reddish black with pixels of light that run from focus. With my eyes closed, my heart echoes inside my head. I count the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slower. 6, 7, 8. Slower. 9, 10. A long pause. I open my eyes. I'm alone. The men are gone and the door is open. No voices or shuffle of feet or papers from the rooms adjacent. I let out a weak attempt at calling for help. My voice makes no sound. I step forward in a lumbering panic and fall to one knee. No sound. With both hands, I push off the floor and come to my feet. I find myself at the door, looking at the hallway that goes on for about 50 feet to a double door. I shout. Not a sound is heard. What's wrong with me? I think to myself. The reflective glass on my left, I begin to exit the room as out of the corner of my eye, I see a completely unfamiliar shape. A shirt, pants, but nothing else. I have no body. Waiting for my eyes to give up this illusion, as if I'd blink and see my face and hands and any bit of flesh, but instead, I'm looking harder now at nothing. I'm not here. Pulling my shirt over my head, I reveal the absence of form. It's like a goddamn nightmare. Panicked, I run out and down the hallway to the doors. Locked. Like a trapped animal, I have no plan. Crack! I'm struck with something very hard. I look with blurred vision behind me as another blow causes my head to snap back. Stars and a flash of light. Crackling in my ears in a metallic taste. My heart is pounding when I wake up. I find myself on a cold tile floor, missing most of my clothes and staring at a crowd of pissed off cops. A husky black cop with no hair and small eyes grabs my arm and articulates them in the most unnatural and painful way. I'm cuffed, and I find my voice. Hey! Hey! Yeah, okay, now what, idiot? That's the best you've got is hey? I think to myself, what the fuck is going on? The big black cop the big black cop says in the deepest voice, "Your ass is acting up, man. You being detained." Pulled to my feet now, I feel the blood on my face and the back of my neck. It's cool and warm at the same time. My head throbs, and one eye is watery and nearly swollen shut. I see the small crowd gathered in the doorway as I look back down the hall. I'm led past them and past the room I was in previously. I see the men in the lineup are all held in place and casting a fearful gaze towards me as I pass, not realizing until the last second that the door to the room on the other side of the glass is open. Two men, one old, one much younger. I couldn't really see much else, and I'm not even really sure if what I saw was real. Chapter 2, Tunnel Vision. In a small room with a nurse, or at least someone who is playing the part, she is accompanied by two cops. She makes a lot of small vocalizations as she dresses my head wound. I'm at a loss. What just happened? God damn. I sigh. Everything okay? She says, not breaking a stride or looking away from her work. I don't really respond except for a subtle shrug. You got a nice little bump here, she says. The ointment stings my wound and I hold my eyes closed, suffer through the process. I find comfort in the darkness and keep my eyes closed. The sting is numbed as a cool air greets my back and shoulders. Afraid to open my eyes and partially blinded, I only open one. Darkness. Okay, so now what? I say to myself, turning my head towards the nurse, and it's not helping. I see nothing. I gotta say something. Hey, I can't see. No response. Hey. Moments pass. Hello? Loud and frustrated, my raspy, hollow voice echoes in my own head, so I sit and stare into the darkness. On occasion, I talk to myself, shout obscenities, but mostly I wait. I'm paralyzed. I soon discover as any attempt to move results in no sensation. I'm all alone with my voice and my thoughts in an infinite darkness. It's like being asleep and awake at the same time. I'm not sure if I'm alive or dead. Is this another episode like the one that happened earlier? The darkness is overwhelming. It's massive and minute. You can get lost in it and also feel constricted. Focus. Breathe. This will all pass. So I wait. I talk to comfort myself. I sing. I scream. I cry as loud as I can. I stop suddenly to listen for anything, but it's always nothing. I'm alone in the void without a body or a way out. So this is it. I never thought it would come to this. I laugh. How do I explain this to my family? Still no sound except for my own voice. No light, no end. I'm sorry. Tears crashing down. I'm so sorry if I hurt anyone. I'm not a bad person. I exclaim, my voice shudders. I'm distracted by a sensation of a presence, but in my moment of desperation, I can't see past my own fears. I didn't want them to die. The breath forced out of me as I scream it out, God damn it, please help me! Just then, in the most abrupt and forceful manner, I'm aware of a point of light, like a star. It has me speechless and in total emotional collapse. I scream again, help! So violent and loud that my throat closes up and I feel sick and dizzy. I notice that I have something in my hand, and in that instant, I'm aware of a presence, that my presence has returned. I'm holding a hose or a tube, clenching it in a rock-like fist. The point of light has come closer, and it glows so bright that I can't look at it. I breathe deep and take a glance at it. The brilliant orb emits a godlike light. I'm forced to close my eyes and look away. My eyes held shut, and in a terrible instant, I'm slammed to a black mat face down and in tortured pain. An IV in my arm, gauze falling off my head and over my eyes. I scream a gargled, bloody scream, the kind of scream that lingers beyond the capacity of your lungs' potential. It becomes a gasping fight for air. Chapter 3, The Truth. Beep, beep, beep. The machines are feeding me some sort of medicine. I'm not sure of the name or even if I've been told what the names are. I arc my back to try to turn my head. I want to see what the fuck is beeping, and most of all, I want to see where I am. I can see by the ceiling above my head that I'm in a room, obviously. Acoustic tile, some dirty and discolored with water stain. A vent, a smoke detector. I can see the room is big, and if I had to guess, I'd say I'm somewhere in the middle of this room, as there are no walls nearby, at least from what I can tell. Beep, beep, it continues. I stare blankly ahead and rationalize my experience. I must have suffered a head injury, I think to myself. I can feel my fingers and toes, and I seem to be held down somehow. No way to turn my head, and in so much pain that any attempt to articulate my head or neck results in a painful resistance. My stomach growls. I grow bored of waiting as much time has passed. Not sure exactly how much, but long enough, that's for sure. Time to do something. My voice cracks in a whisper, and I clear my throat and try again. Hello? Listening intently, I'm surprised to hear a response. He's awake, a man says a good distance away. I lift my head as much as possible, straining my body. I can see the top of his head. Can I have something to eat? I say, sort of embarrassed to ask for anything, seeing as how I don't know where I am. The voice says quickly, You'll get some food soon. Footsteps approaching. I strain my body again to look, and I see a young man in a suit. He comes to my side, and we look at each other. Mr. Gregory, how are you feeling? I'm unsure, but I say without hesitation, Good. I'm not good. He responds, I'm Detective Mark O'Brien with the Boston Police Department. Can I ask you some questions? I nod, as well as I can, and say, Okay, good. He stands closer. You have been identified as a suspect in a crime. We have your admission of guilt by means of medically induced persuasive treatment called chemically aided interrogation. He continues as I blankly stare at the ceiling. We have you on record saying, and I quote, I'm sorry if I hurt anyone, and I don't want them to die. Can you explain what these statements mean to you, Mr. Gregory? I feel trapped. I'm not sure what he means. I'm not sure if what he means is while I was lost in the black, I was actually under the influence of some truth serum. I can't fight my way out of this. I can't make up another excuse. Either I come clean or something worse may happen. Worse than the hollow, endless darkness? I'm mindful of my present state of being in a hospital bed, bound and captive. My eyes tear up as I look to him and then immediately look away again for fear that he can see the pain in my eyes. I softly say, I can't take it back. What do you mean, sir? He responds. I say, I'm the guy. I did it. I pause and make sure I can see his face. I can't tell you how terrible it feels. It feels like you don't exist, like I have no voice, like people can see through me. He stares back and listens intently. I was so afraid I couldn't help myself. His voice interrupts. 17 people gunned down in a subway car, Mr. Gregory. In a firm tone. His words reverberate in the room and seem to linger in the worst way, like a bee sting on your soul. I collect myself and I say, I didn't know. I see his chest fill with air and he exhales fully. We sit in a stunned silence. He turns sharply. As he begins to walk away, he says, Your lunch is here. As soon as he leaves, another younger man comes into sight and greets me in a generic way, while elevating my bed and adjusting the straps on my arms and head. I see now that the room is mostly empty. I see a small tray with juice and a sandwich, turkey and lettuce, apple juice in a 4-ounce cup. In a moment, my hands are free and I can reach for my food. He says plainly, Anything else I can get you? Not really sure how to answer. I say, No, thank you. He leaves the room. I'm alone. It's quiet. I sip my juice. I set it back down carefully. The sandwich falls apart when I pick it up, and I frustratingly reassemble it. I take a huge bite and savor it slowly. It's not bad. My eyes hurt. I think I was maced or something. I rub my eyes with the palms of my hand and run my fingers through my hair, forgetting about the gash on my scalp. I dig into it with my long fingernails on accident. I wince and inhale through my teeth. God damn it. My eyes back open and the food is gone. Did I drop it? I look around, notice the tray is gone. The room has a door and a window. The window is covered in long vertical blinds, and the bright sun permeates through. I grab the thin hospital blanket and lift it high with both hands. What I see is bed sheets, nothing else. I'm gone again. Voiceless and invisible, somehow my will allows me to sprint to the door as I feel my chest cave in. I turn and run blindly away from the pain as 2 more hot punches sting me in the back in quick succession. With all my strength, I launch myself into the blinds as I'm hit 2 more times in the back and neck. Crash! Glass and sun. Air whistles past my ears. I feel weightless and afraid, not able to rationalize until it's too late. I fall to the street below. A crowded street watches my body slap the pavement, and in a moment of morbid finality, I'm seen by the world.